everybody. It's really wonderful and it's an honor to be here today and hear more about this. It was really interesting to hear Director Elizabeth speak about this, and it was really interesting to be asked to speak here because although we often talk about the impact of water, sanitation, and hygiene on women, we don't often go back and look and measure that. And this effort forced me to do that. So the first story I want to share today is about a woman named Lorez, the second child of a Haitian peasant family with 9 kids in the Central Plateau region of Haiti. Her parents made every effort to put all their kids in school, and when Lorez had to start first grade, they scraped together the money and she went through primary school. But on top of having to go to school, it was also her job as the eldest daughter to carry the water for the family. And she had to go walking hours in each direction to a filthy spring shared by cattle and scooping tiny cups of water into a bucket to carry home. But she managed to get up early every day and go get the water, and then spent the weekends washing clothes for the entire family at the river, which was more than an hour's walk away. And when she turned 13, she began having her period. And since the school she was attending didn't have any water or sanitation facilities, she would simply stop going to school when she had her period. But missing 4 or 5 days out of every 22 school days in a month made it a lot harder to keep up with the boys. And she slowly fell behind until she dropped out of school in the 7th grade and essentially became the family's workhorse. Her dreams of an education shattered, poverty perpetuated by a lack of access to water, sanitation, and hygiene. So let me introduce you to HANWASH, the Haiti National Clean Water, Sanitation, and Hygiene Strategy. It's a multi-decade program with the audacious goal of transforming a nation, bringing universal, sustainable access to clean water, sanitation, and hygiene for all the citizens of Haiti, and bringing an end to these kinds of stories. Unfortunately, Lorez's story is not unique because half of Haiti's water and sanitation infrastructure is simply not functioning. The facilities aren't managed well, they aren't inspected, and local communities struggle to bring the money in needed for repairs. And they just break down. I love this picture here. I took it in the southern part of Haiti when we were visiting a school where the local Rotary Club had built and provided school benches. And while we were there, I saw the hand pump there and I went over to take a closer look, and it was clearly not working. I could see the leaves and debris scattered around it. But what was really interesting was to see that blue and white building in the background. That blue and white building is a water kiosk connected to a regional water system that was not working. So some group in the past had built a massive piped network and provided water to this community. Then when it broke down, another group, an NGO, a church, or maybe even a Rotary Club stepped in and provided yet another water supply in the form of this hand pump that also broke down. So because of this and many other stories, only 30% of the people in Haiti have access to potable water within a 30-minute walk of their house. That's not in their house, that's a 30-minute walk away from their house. That means that the girls and women in these houses, like Lorez, spend hours every day fetching water for their families. And that interferes with their ability to do school or go to work. On top of that, almost very few schools have access to water and sanitation facilities, and over 2 million people practice open air defecation. And because of the remoteness of these water points, 2 in 3 women in Haiti has been the target of domestic violence, attack, or rape at these remote water points. These are the systems in Haiti that need to function, and they're broken. These systems include the government, who also needs support in coordinating its development partners. Whether it's donors or NGOs, Haiti's governments really struggle to devote fiscal resources. It's stretched too thin and lacks the capacity to enforce its role as the regulator of the sector. But that's where HANWASH comes in. Because our role is to provide a vision and bring together the funds and the partnerships to make a difference in the sector, collaborating with government authorities across the entire spectrum and mobilizing communes through local Rotary clubs. So where are we today? Well, on the map here, you can see the Rotary logos that signify the 22 Rotary clubs across Haiti. These are our partners on the ground. These are the local Rotarians that are leading the conversation in their communities and shifting the conversation there, and shifting that conversation away from a conversation of charity to a conversation of development and transformation. In every town where we currently have programs in progress, a local club is paired with an international district. Cavaillon in the south is being led by the Rotary Club of Lake High with District 6960 from Florida. Ferrier in the northeast with the Cape Haitian Club and District 5060 covering Washington State and Canada. And Peon led by the Peon Rotary Club championed by District 6940. All three of these projects focus on delivering piped water to households in the village centers and wells in the rural areas. So how do women play a role in HANWASH? Well, actually, they're the key. We have women like Kazakh Alexandre Claudette, who was elected the leader of her district in Cavaillon. This is her in the yellow shirt in the left picture and in the blue dress in the right picture. And she has truly blossomed in the role. She is a powerful voice for everyone having access to water, and we're fortunate to have her leadership as a partner. Cavaillon was our very first pilot project commune, and every well that HANWASH creates is managed by a committee composed of a minimum of 50% women like Claudette. We found that the long-term success of these wells directly correlates with women's leadership, with over 90% of the wells functioning to date. To date, we've mobilized over $500,000 for Cavaillon, including the city water system and 5 community wells like the one you see pictured here, where Claudette is inaugurating the La Biche community with the members of the Lake High Rotary Club. Claudette's working with the HANWASH team to deliver another 50 additional community wells this year for her district. In Ferrier, it's in the northeast corner of Haiti, right on the border with the Dominican Republic. It has a massive saltwater ground infiltration into their aquifer. So effectively, this entire area of over 1,000 houses has no access to potable water. And in fact, many of these houses cross into the Dominican Republic and pull water out of the cattle troughs to carry back to their homes. The project that we're doing now will create a large municipal system delivering piped water to every home. Well, what about women in Ferrier? Well, this is actually entirely women-led. The effort there is being led by the mayor, Guerriere Yvette, the woman in tandem with Assistant Governor Margaret George of the Cape Haitian Rotary Club, and past District Governor Sherry Chamberlain of District 5060. And their intention is to build this water system that will serve over 5,000 people and have it be managed by a women-owned company upon its completion. In Peon, we've worked to bring the city water system online, and 2 out of 3 employees of the private operator are women. Employed as meter readers and administrators, they've been able to create reliable access to the water across the city. With over 250 subscribers, they now have access to water for between 12 and 24 hours a day, every day. The reliable service has enabled more than 15 women-owned businesses to open. Women run health clinics, water vendors, restaurants, and even beauty salons. The beauty salon pictured here is woman-owned, who in turn hired 2 women, including our own Lorez. Lorez now has regular income from her job, dignity in her community, and is paying her own way in school with the money she makes from her job. And Lorez is in the middle picture there with her hand on her chin. The health clinic on the right you see is also run by women, with the nighttime guard being the only male on staff. All the lab technicians, doctors, and nurses are all women. Really such amazing stories, and what a powerful force to unleash upon the world, all managed by women, all made possible by access to water and sanitation. But that's not all. This women's clinic in Peon has partnered with Days for Girls to bring menstrual hygiene education to the girls in the area, providing washable, reusable feminine hygiene products that can help girls manage their periods and stay in school. HANWASH is now designing programs for these schools in the target areas where we work, where we can include both boys and girls so that they can learn menstrual hygiene management. That's right, by teaching the boys, we can make them more sympathetic and supportive of girls and allow more girls to stay in schools. So as you can see, this is really no small commitment. HANWASH and programs around the world like it need your help to realize its dream. And so how can you help? Quite frankly, you can just get involved and push for the integration of women, raise funds for programs like you're hearing about today, ones that support women, educate both boys and girls on menstrual hygiene management. These are the kind of efforts that Rotarians excel at, and I know this is only the beginning. Thank you for your interest in HANWASH and exploring our impact on women.